Well, 3:30, and it is time to get up. Sleeping on the ground, haven't slept on the ground in a year, but slept pretty well, and really kind of excited about this, which is nuts. So I'm looking forward to running through the park, 50K, and it's going to be a great day. It's going to be good.
So this is Thunder Hold. This is one of the spectacular sights in the park. People like to come and see. As you can see, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. There are already people down here waiting. Thunder Hole is a cavern right down near the rocks there. And what happens is the water, when the tide rises, the water rushes in and hits the cavern underneath the rocks, and then forces out the air that's in there and creates a clap like thunder. So, you know, with the things that are changing and climate change, the Park Service is re-looking at these railings and trying to restore them every year, because as the storms become more intense, they do more damage. And, you know, there's talk about whether or not they should continue to maintain this area. The other thing is the tides rise over time. Eventually, Thunder Hole will fill up, and so you don't have that big clap of thunder anymore. But this is one of my favorite places in the park. So this is Sand Beach in Acadia National Park. It is gorgeous. I love coming here. I've come here since I was 6 years old. Water is way too cold to want to swim in, but some people do. A lot of people do, actually. So it is a gem. This is so beautiful here. So with climate change, as the storms intensify and the waves increase, it's already having an impact on this beach. Sometime in the future, it won't look the same because of the damage that the ocean's doing to it. And even these stairs, which take you up to the parking lot, are seeing a lot of wear and tear from the storms. So, love this place. Wish I could just stay here, not finish my run and just sit on the beach. But I got stuff to do, so to the next stop. So this is the turn. It used to be called Little Meadow, because it was a meadow a long time ago. About 100 years ago, or so, George Dorr, who was actually the founder of Acadia National Park, decided to build a little dam and create this this pool of water. It's called the turn. I don't know if you call it a pond. I guess it's a small pond. Anyway, as you can see, things are growing into it, which is actually the natural meadow coming back. And someday in the future, this is going to become a meadow again. Nature has its way. But for now, and even then, it's just so beautiful. So, anyway, I say it a lot because this place is beautiful. Okay, see ya. So the reason they put the boardwalk in is because they used to have a mounted path that went through here. And the mounted path worked for a long time, except the problem was it divided the two sides of this meadow, so that you had a situation where on one side, you know, it might flood when it rained and the water couldn't evenly distribute through that mound to the other side. So it created issues. So one of the things they did was they decided to get rid of the mounted path and build this boardwalk, so that way the water can flow underneath, and you have, you know, just even distribution and not flooding on one side and the other side doesn't get enough water. So I probably butchered that. Wish Brian Henkel from Friends of Acadia was here to explain it, because this is a major project that he's been working on. So here's an open view of the meadow itself, the Great Meadow. And when I was talking before about building the boardwalk, so you can see here we're back to regular gravel path. But part of what's exacerbating the problem is the island, Mount Desert Island in Acadia National Park, is just getting a lot more rain than they've ever gotten before. And so that just exacerbated the issues with the flooding and the uneven distribution of water flowing through these meadows. So part of that, again, that project was, and I'm just talking about one thing that I know about. I know that a lot of other things have been done in this area, but this is a great place to sometimes see deer, especially late in the evening, mostly in the evening or early in the morning. It's just a wonderful, wonderful area. Okay, so this is Aunt Betty's Pond. We are, Brian and I are on one of the carriage paths going by this area, and as you can see, it's this is kind of off the beaten path a little bit. And Eagle Lake is the real popular route that everybody likes to take. This route has hills in it, so there's less people, which is wonderful for me. But anyway, so these kinds of areas are also hit hard by the increased amount of rain brought on by climate change. At least the kind of rain we've seen here recently, has a pretty severe impact on areas like this. But anyway, yeah. So it's gorgeous, and I didn't use the word beautiful this time, but it's all great. So anyway, Acadia National Park, and signing out until the next place. Okay, so this is Brian Henkel from Friends of Acadia, and Brian is the lead person, the specialist for the Wild Acadia project, and he's going to tell you a little bit about Gilmore Meadow here, and maybe a little about the problems and also the history. So go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so Gilmore Meadow has kind of a couple of things related to Wild Acadia. One is it's the meadow that we think about when we think of what we could potentially have in the Great Meadow. So Great Meadow is degraded through time through lots of different types of historical uses and the way it's been kind of manipulated through time. But Gilmore Meadow is probably a good example of what we think Great Meadow could potentially be, and sort of a target for what we're thinking about in terms of the health quality of the Great Meadow. So Gilmore Meadow is in pretty good shape. The other aspect of it is that it was about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, that we had a pretty significant rain event, and Gilmore Meadow took kind of the brunt of some of that. So there was pretty significant rainfall that happened in a very short period of time on the mountain that you can see behind us, and it washed down. It picked up portions of carriage road. It really put gullies in carriage roads, and it put a lot of material into the brooks that feed into Gilmore Meadow, and there's a lot of material that's been deposited in those brooks just upstream of here and then out into the meadow. The rain event was so significant that it actually rose about 40 inches in Gilmore Meadow. So if you look behind here, there was 40 more inches of water in here in about 2 hours. And then a few hours later, it had basically gone back down. So it was a very large flush of water that, is part of the change that we're seeing with precipitation events. The kind of intensity that we're seeing is very different now than what it has been in the past. So we have to find ways to prepare for that and to understand that that's what our future looks like.
Okay, and then the other thing is Brian is running 13 miles of this crazy run with me, so I'm enjoying the company. See you next time. So I'm back where I started. My home away from home. Yep, that's my luxury tent there. Great site, complete with picnic table and fire pit and easy access to the bathroom. Love it. So anyway, it has been a really, really fun run. Here we go. And I'm so happy to have been doing this. Made a lot of nice friends on the way, and doing it all for Friends of Acadia and their Wild Acadia project. It was a pleasure running with Brian Henkel, who is the coordinator for Wild Acadia. So all is good. So anyway, I'm back. Time to eat and take a break. Okay, see ya. Hey everybody. So anyway, took a badly needed shower and spent a relaxing afternoon in Bar Harbor, drinking coffee, which I missed this morning, reading a book, eating lunch, and
So anyway, here I am. I'm back at my campsite, getting ready to make dinner, and just wanted to thank everybody, thank the donors, you donors, for supporting this cause. It is just such a good cause. If you haven't ever been to Acadia National Park, you gotta go. I don't know if my video will convince you that it's a good place to be, but I mean, I've shown you about 1/100th, or maybe less, of what a spectacular place Acadia National Park is. And you know, besides the park, you've got Mount Desert Island, which has a lot of cool stuff anyway, so all good reasons. So anyway, just wanted to tie out and say thank you, and hope I hear or see you guys at some point in the future. Bye.